Well, good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 27th. No, May 29th. Trying to hold the month back for some reason. I really don't have any plans again. Oh, no, I do. I have to go. I can't remember. I think it's Oliver's soccer game tonight. It's either Oliver or Sebastian's. I'm going to go to that. I had some. We went to Olive Garden yesterday, and I had ordered the stuffed fettuccine with chicken dinner, but they ran out, so I had a stuffed chicken Marcellus, and it comes with the 2 grilled chicken breasts and some mashed potatoes, and I only ate one of the chicken breasts, so I brought the other one home for my dinner tonight. And then we had an appetizer of I've never seen it before. It's some kind of homemade chips with I think it was bolognese sauce on top of it with some cheese. So I got a little bit of that. I'll probably have that for my dinner. And I'll have some vegetables with it. See what else I have. I'll have my usual breakfast. I'm pretty much the same with that. I gotta water my plants because it's very muggy yet again today. It's another muggy day. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain, but I don't think it's supposed to rain till the afternoon, so I'll be fine. And I'm going to have Alyssa tomorrow because her class is going on a field trip and they're zip lining, and she didn't want to zip line, so she's not going to go. So she's going to stay here with me tomorrow. And what else? That's about it. Actually, my neighbor was pretty quiet last night, so that was nice. Reminds me of a story. Everything reminds me of a story lately. I don't know why. But our other house, for some reason, I never had curtains. I had curtains, but I didn't have like blinds or shades in my bedroom. And we were on the street. Our window was on the street side, so I don't know why I didn't do that. I don't know what it was, but it was one summer evening, and it was hot, and I had my window open, and I was sound asleep. Sound asleep. I didn't hear a thing. Which is unusual because I usually hear everything, but I didn't hear anything. And the next morning, there was a knock on the door, and it was 2 policemen, and they were looking for witnesses. And I said, for what? And then they showed me the house that was kitty corner across the street from me was completely shot out. The windows were shot out. The aluminum siding had, like, they had taken that kind of a gun to the house. You know what kind of gun that is. And the whole front of the house was all shot up. The front door was all, shot up, and the windows were gone, and everything. And the policeman said, "Did you see anything?" And I said, "No, I didn't see anything." He says, "Well, what time did you hear the shots?" I said, "Well, I didn't hear any shots." And he says, "Well, where in proximity is your bedroom when you sleep at night?" And I said, "Well, the front bedroom by the window there, And he says, "And you didn't hear anything?" And I go, "No, I really didn't hear anything." And he says, "Ma'am, a lot of people are afraid to be witnesses. We can offer you protection." I said, I didn't hear a thing. I really didn't hear a thing." So they went, "Oh, okay, thank you for your help." But I truly didn't hear anything. And when I saw the house, I thought, how did I not hear that? How could I not have heard that? So a couple months later, I was at work, so that was my excuse this time. And I got home from work, and my neighbor across the street says, "Oh my gosh, could you believe all the action kitty corner the other way? The FBI raided the place just like in the movies," she said, that they came in and they surrounded the house, and they came with the thing and banged the front door in, and they dragged the guy out in handcuffs. But he was an embezzler, I think he was. I think that's what they said, he was, an embezzler. But miss that too. Miss everything, it seems like. I don't know. Oh well. That's just me. I'm so acute, so aware of my surroundings, which I think I am. But obviously in those cases I wasn't. But anyway. And I would be a terrible witness. I really would, because I could never describe somebody how they look. If I try to describe somebody how they look, I always have to say they remind me of, but they don't necessarily look like. Like my Aunt Rose reminds me of Katharine Hepburn. But she doesn't look anything like Katharine Hepburn. She just doesn't. It just, I don't know. Oh, another thing. I had a friend at work. It just made me think of that too. I don't find him the least bit sexy at all. It's just, but his voice, I just love the sound of his voice. Is Keith Carradine, no, not Keith Carradine. Is it David Carradine? No, Keith Carradine from Madam Secretary. I find his voice just very appealing. I just really do. I don't know what it is about his voice. Not his looks, not him so much, you know. Harrison Ford, we all know, is my man. But, you know, something about Keith Carradine. But anyway, there was this girl at work that I was friends with at work. We were never friends outside of work, but at work we took our breaks together. We had lunch together. We used to take our morning break. We used to go for a quick 15-minute walk around the parking lot in our building. And we were really just good friends. And then one of the people had a barbecue and like a fire afterwards. You know, like they had a fire pit in their backyard. They lived in the country. And I met her husband. And I just kind of made the comment, boy, and she knew that I liked Keith Carradine's voice. Her husband sounded like Keith Carradine, and I says, oh my gosh, if I wouldn't have known better, if I would have had closed my eyes, I would have known that, I would have thought that Keith Carradine was at our bonfire last night. You know, she never went on a break with me again. She was so afraid that I was going to go after her husband, and I'm thinking, oh, how did I give off that impression? I was very happy with Jim. Jim went with me to the bonfire. You know, Jim and I do everything together. I talk about him at work, so it was just, I guess she was just very insecure, and it just kind of bothered me. And then what I always say, well, aren't you going to go to lunch or something? And she said, no, you know, whatever. And then probably about a month later, she did get laid off. But it was very uncomfortable there for a while, and I thought, I'm sorry I said anything. I was saying it as a compliment, not as, you know, whatever. Okay. It's not going to get any cooler. If anything, it's going to get hotter. So let's go for our walk. And then when we get back, we'll water our flowers because we don't want them to wilt. I'm wilting. Okay. See you guys in a bit. Well, it was hot, but not stifling hot. And there was a nice little breeze. There's a breeze right now. Capture it. Capture it. Hold on to it. I saw a lot of dog walkers. A lot. And nobody on their bikes. But it was a beautiful walk. I'm glad I walked. I walked 2.9 miles, and my Fitbit just sent me a little charge notice that it's almost dead. So I don't know that all my steps got recorded. So I'll go put that in the charger, and then I'm going to water my plant. Oh, there's another breeze. Can you hear it? Whoosh. It's so nice. Cools you off. Okay, let's go water the plants because they're thirsty. Okay, I'm going to finish my book. I only have about 30 more pages to read. And then I might go to the library today because I went to order the Stephen King's book online and my card must be expired. I must have to go and renew it. And I want to get that in time so that when I go on vacation I have a book to read. Because it probably will be at least 6 weeks before it comes in because it just came out. And my day is complete because I saw a hummingbird at my feeder. As long as I see one a day, I'm fine. It was like fluttering around. And I was watering my flowers and it flew into my little stream of water because I have the shower spray on my water thing. And it was so close to me. It was like, oh, it wasn't that close, but it was close enough that when I was squirting it went into the stream of the shower from the hose. And then when I was walking, I saw this older lady. She was probably in her 70s, maybe late 70s, and she was walking her dog and she just kind of looked lost. And so I stopped and I said, are you okay? And she said, well, I'm visiting with my daughter from out of state and I can't find, I'm not going to tell you the street name, but she says, you know, like I'm going to say Maple. I can't find Maple Street. I don't know where it is. And I've been walking and I've been looking, and I said, well, if you continue on this path, you can reach it. Once you come all the way around, you'll come to it, but it's about a mile. But if you turn around and go 2 houses this way and go a block over and 2 houses over, you're right there. And she says, I think that's the way I'm going to go because I've been walking a long time because my subdivision it's really confusing because it's, well, all subdivisions. I don't know who designs them, but they're all like, there's no shortcut in or out of any subdivision. But I did my good deed for the day. So I was happy to help her. I said, do you want me to walk with you? And she says, no, as long as I know that it's that way, I can find it. I said, okay. She said, I don't want to keep you from your walk. I go, it doesn't matter to me where I walk. I'm just walking. She says, no, it's not, I'll be fine, but thank you. I says, okay. So, oh, I gotta answer the phone. It might be someone important. I'll talk to you guys in a little while. Time to eat, and I'm hungry. So it's, I started my day with a prayer. I drank 50 ounces of water. My cousin Glenn sent me this quote, "What we see depends mainly on what we look for," by John Lubbock. The way I take this quote is, I still see myself as a fat lady, and I need to see myself in a better light. And so that's what I take away from this quote. But it's 24 smart points, 0 for my egg, berries, banana, grapefruit, tea, and water. 3 points for my half of a Lender's plain bagel, and 1 for my Laughing Cow cheese. So it's a 4-point breakfast. So I have 20 points left for the rest of my day. And I am going to start looking at myself in a different light, because I've come a long way, baby. Okay, I have to be honest with you. I don't know how to count this dinner. The chicken is, with the mushrooms on it, was a grilled chicken from the Olive Garden. It was left over yesterday. I do have one breadstick that I broke in half. These are, I'm going to eat it cold because I don't like to reheat things. They're homemade tortilla chips that they made. And they had some marinara sauce on it with some hot peppers. So I don't know what to count that as. But anyway, I started with the grilled chicken, tomato, cucumber, water, and tea. I listed it as 0. 3 points for my half a cup of cottage cheese, 4 points for my Olive Garden breadstick. When I look up just the marinara sauce, it's 2 points. But I'm thinking I'm still pretty good because I had 20 points. So I'm thinking I stayed within my points today. But that's my dinner. I'm going to go eat it now because I am getting hungry because it's almost 7 o'clock and it's time for Sandy to eat dinner. I had to come outside. It's freezing in the house. Anyhow, it's summer. Well, it's almost summer. It's spring. And why? I was cooped up all winter. Why do I want to sit in the house all day when I could be sitting out here enjoying the beautiful weather? And that's what I'm doing. Jim's not home. He shoots on a black powder league. So he's not home. And I just finished my dinner. It was delicious. And earlier, Jim and I were watching TMZ, and it reminded me of a story, because Michael Caine was talking about one time when he was, he thought a woman was pregnant, and he had asked her when she was going to have her baby. And then Jim says that he did that one time, and he learned he's never going to do that again. Well, I can top that story. I was working at Cambridge. I worked in the mail room, and there was 2 girls that worked in the file room that looked almost identical. I mean, they were just so much, they just looked so much alike. And I went to get a file out of the file room, and the one girl, her name was Beverly. Beverly was sitting in the chair, and I says, "Oh my gosh, Beverly, I thought you had just had your baby. What the heck are you doing here? You know, you shouldn't be here. You should be home resting." And she said, Beverly says, "I didn't have the baby. Anna had the baby." And I went, "Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry." I says, "Well, when is your baby due?" She wasn't pregnant. She was just a big girl. And so she said, "Well, I'm not pregnant. I'm not even married." And so to dig it out even deeper, I went, "Well, that doesn't mean anything. You know, there's loose women in the world that get pregnant even when they're not married." And she says, "Well, I'm not even dating anybody." And I thought, you know what? Get this foot out of my mouth. Let's get moving. I said, "Do you have the file for?" And I asked him for the file, and I left, and I never went back to that file room again. I was mortified. What a thing to say. And being a woman, I should have known better. Only me. Only me. All right, well, now we're going to read another book, because I finished the other book this morning. So we're going to read Never Never by James Patterson and Candace Fox. In the Never Never, no one knows if you're dead or alive. My kind of book. Talk to you guys in a bit. Gotta go. See you in the morning. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.